care, friends. Thank you for being with us this long. Third video in. We really hope that you've gained insights, you have knowledge that you didn't have before, you have ideas popping in your head about how you can repair or enhance your relationship with your food. We really hope that you are thinking of ways that you can live more wholesomely based on the kind of food that you are taking in to your body and giving to your patient or to your loved one that you are taking care of. We really hope that when you think nutrition, you do not think, but you're thinking, oh, I can't wait to next make another meal that will take me half the day, most of the day, that you're feeling more energetic from what you are eating, that you're feeling more wholesome from what you're eating, that you're feeling more calmer as a result of what it is you're eating, that you are getting rid of some of your medicines that you are taking in place of food. I'm not saying don't take your medications, no, but the ones that you were taking instead of food, I hope you're no longer doing that, and that now you are able to take food as medicine, not medicine as food. As usual, we have Linda, our nutritionist, brilliant girl, especially as it goes to food and in so many other areas as well. But as it goes to food, she's just on another level. And I have learned so much from you, Linda. Karibu tena.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here again. Just excited to do the lunch as a queen.
Yes, the lunch as a queen, and from that you get a bit of your supper. This is why this is important. A lot of caregivers, when they get to this segment, they are cooking for two. The sick person, the person in their care, and for themselves. And sometimes the dietary requirements are so different that you do not know how to bring all that onto the same table. In the first video, you said that sometimes the sick person feels guilty because they are enforcing a dietary change on the people who do not seem to need the dietary change, you know. And so this is that spread that brings everything together. And can you bring it all onto the same table?
Yes, I gladly. Where do you want me to start? Carbohydrates.
Let's start with the carbohydrates, and then work our way to
the proteins. I see you just. I am with you in that same group of meat. Now, it's all about balancing. It's all about balancing. We can start off with the carbohydrates.
Yes.
We have their pasta, we have their rice, we have the ugali flour, both brown and white. We have the pumpkin flour, which is also used as an enhancer. So I like what you mentioned about the sick patient who has to feel guilty for making everybody else in the house have to cook twice. But this does not always have to be the case. It's about the relationship with food. We can make food so exciting, even to the people at home. To eat brown rice or to eat whole grain food is not just for a sick person. We all need to be able to partake of that and to begin to adapt those kind of food choices. Because you see, even for the sick patient, you don't come out of a hospital and then you're told eat brown food and bam, you've cut off all the brown foods, you've cut off white foods, now you're just eating, because that could be shocking even for somebody, and the patient is already battling the shocking diagnosis, so they need to transition slowly. That can happen by mixing brown and white rice, obviously cooking them separately, because the brown rice has a very hard husk, so it needs to be soaked, then cooked. And you don't need to make it boring. You can add spices to that brown rice just to make it exciting, like brown rice pilau plus the white rice. Then everybody in the family can mix white rice and brown rice as you slowly transition to the white rice, and also prepare your palate, because the brown rice has it's an acquired taste. You have to get used to it before you like it. Yes.
Question, can you make the brown rice and the white rice separately, of course, like you have said, but then at the end of it all, like on the platter, you mix the two up?
Yes, you can. Actually, that would be so exciting even for the family. They wonder, is it pilau, is it white rice?
Yes.
So you literally, just the same way we make sometimes white rice, some of it is made with turmeric and then some without, then they mix it up. It's the same thing. You just bring it, because then you're mixing even the flavors, then people cannot tell what exactly it is, but you're still eating healthy. So with time you get to transition into that. That's exciting yourself with the brown rice. Then there's the ugali bit.
Yes.
You can mix the white flour and the brown flour.
You said in the first video
Yes.
that the amount of ugali I need to eat is the size of my fist.
Yes.
So that means this one bowl
Yes. Yes.
is one portion.
Yes, that's one portion. I had that sigh.
You did.
Now you need to eat that. That's your portion.
Okay.
And if you are mixing, you see, you can either choose to mix the flour. Let's say 1 week you mix brown and white flour. Then the next week you can do the white flour enhanced with the pumpkin flour, which will just change the taste.
Yes.
And speaking even to the Luya caregivers, this is not a hoax. It is yummy. It is delicious. You will love it.
Dear Luyas, there are a lot of Luyas who are not from Luyaland.
Yes.
Who have a thing for their ugali.
Yes. They call it Lugali, Rhoda.
Oh yeah?
Lugali. Even the Luyas who are not Luyas,
Yes.
have your Lugali. Mix it with
Yes.
the pumpkin flour, with the arrowroot flour, just to make it more enhanced with vitamins, with all those nice things and nutrients.
Okay.
Yes.
I like how you said about transitioning the palate. And earlier on we had, in the previous video, we talked about attitude.
Yes.
And sometimes when you get a diagnosis or your loved one gets a diagnosis and you're told now you will need to not eat fried food, now you will need to stop on sugars, now you will need, it does sound like a type of life sentence. And when it is a life sentence, it does something to you mentally, because now you're thinking, if I wasn't sick, if this and the other. But how you have talked about transitioning the palate, you're also telling something to your brain. You know, you're saying something to your brain, you're saying, this is another way of eating. Not necessarily because of the sickness, but because of wholeness. Not because of sickness, but because of wholeness, because of wellness.
Yes.
And that helps with the transitioning
Yes.
of the palate to accommodate new tastes, you know? Yeah. Okay.
Cooking methods. Yes, I really like what you're saying, because you need to adopt cooking methods. Like, it's not about this is bad or this is bad, it's moderation. And when they tell you cut off, don't eat anymore, so you find people hate soda.
Yes.
Someone will hate this. But you see, you overtake something, like you see Coke, you take like 3 bottles a day, of course you're going to get diabetes, because that's like 10 teaspoons of sugar per day. You can taste a soda in once a month, you can.
Yes.
It's all about the discipline of food and knowing what you're feeding yourself. Yeah.
True. Okay, so there we have our ugalis and our rices and our chapatis.
Yes.
That is fortified and that is mixed up, and the palate is thinking, yeah, maybe we can do this.
Maybe we can. I can taste this.
Yes, I can taste this.
Yes.
And then comes, oh, I love this part.
Color.
Yes.
The more colorful your plate is, the better for the nutrients, because each vegetable gives you different vitamins, different minerals. So if you constantly say, okay, I eat my vegetables, but you're only eating spinach, you're only getting one of the particular vitamins.
Yes.
And the problem with that is whatever pesticides they use, you can get toxicity if you're only eating one. So if you mix variety, you're even mixing, you won't get toxicity of a particular thing. You keep taking, because these days, unfortunately, they spray to remove the pesticides. So you need to mix out so that you're getting variety from a number of vegetables. So you're not getting toxicity in anything. It's like eating one kind of fish, you get the toxicity from the fish, you know.
Okay.
So you need to mix out everything.
Okay.
You eat the hoho, you can do steamed hoho, you can eat them raw, actually, they're really tasty in a salad. You have the carrots, you do the celeries, you do the spinach, you can have them steamed in a smoothie. You understand? Throughout the day you've eaten everything, a raw tomato inside you can have this even alongside your dinner. Let's say you have the ugali, you have the ndengu, then you have your cut up steamed carrots plus the hoho plus the tomatoes. You steam that up for like 2 to 3 minutes, so you don't kill the nutrients.
I discovered recently that my stomach and tomatoes are not liking each other a lot. But then there was the spinach that needed to be cooked, and it was difficult for me to think of spinach without the red
tomato.
Yes, because there's something it does. There's something it does. And then one day, this is the Lord. One day, the red hoho. Right? I thought, how about I grate it?
Oh, yes.
So onions, grate the red hoho,
Yeah.
and then put that
Spinach.
in, and that changed everything.
Just like that.
It changed everything because one, my brain that looks for the red saw the red.
So that's what you needed to click. Like there's the tomato, but it's not really it.
Yes.
It's, yeah.
And then the tongue went like, oh wait, what is that taste?
It's really tasty.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
You've had it. They've had it. Like you can try out. Food is so exciting because
Food
it's like
is.
experimenting.
Yes.
You can try out everything. You don't have to do the tradition kitungu nyanya, and yeah, you can also add hoho now. That's exciting.
You know, try out new things.
Yeah.
There's so many ways to eat said spinach.
Wow.
I know.
That is really exciting.
Yes.
Yes. Now to our
Proteins.
Proteins. Unfortunately, what was the first thing you thought about when I say proteins?
Oh, give me my chicken.
Yes.
Some fish.
Yes, someone nobody thinks of, let me say, beans. It's like more like I don't have money, so let me take
Middle of the month.
Yes,
Middle of the month proteins.
Yeah, when you have money, you need to be eating your meat.
Yes.
But this is not true and is not a good mentality because all you need to do is to spice up your plant-based proteins. Because as a caregiver, you're looking to eat healthy things. So you have lean meats once a week, and you have the white meats also once a week, but you mix it up with plant-based proteins. You can use turmeric to cook ginger, the fresh ginger, you grate them, you use curries, and you make it exciting. You can even enhance it by adding low-fat milk. It just makes the soup thicker. You can mash as you cook. It will just make it more exciting.
Or coconut.
Yes, coconut water or milk. Yeah, that's even healthier.
All right.
Yes.
Because when you said meat once a week,
Yeah.
I struggled.
Are you sure?
Yeah. And then I started thinking, what else shall I do with these beans?
Yeah.
Wait, what day of the week? If I have to have meat once a week, what day? What day will that be? And then I thought, wait, this coconut, and you can have lentils,
Yeah.
or as we call them in, I don't know if this is Kikuyu or Kiswahili, kamande.
I've heard of it. I don't even know it. I think it's Kiswahili.
Yeah, maybe it is.
It could be.
But when you put that in coconut milk,
Yeah, it just kicks it. It's a whole other thing.
yes,
Yeah.
and it takes a shorter time to cook than meat.
Yes.
So
And it's so good for the stomach. It's so good for everything.
It does.
And not too much of anything, because too much of anything is poisonous.
It is.
So you just mix up. Make sure you're eating every single thing. Kamande, you're eating chickpeas, you're eating cowpeas, you're mixing everything. Because we have such a variety in the market.
Yes.
So you get to taste literally everything.
And speaking of the market, caregivers, we're not saying you've got to buy butterfly. We're not saying don't. We're not saying you've got to buy the what. We're not saying don't.
Yes.
We're just saying that all these brands, they are in the market. There's also the one that is not branded. It is equally good. The one that comes in a sack.
Yes.
Yes. Fishery rice and all that. Point is, get the content.
It's good to think about everything, because even when you eat, did you know that if you eat too much high fiber foods, your gut can be injured? So mixing with a bit of the fries sometimes, it's a good thing. Not too much. Yeah, you can have. I have had clients who've had inflammatory bowel disease because of eating too many greens, too many of this. So you need to mix up everything. That's what we're talking about here.
Balance.
Yes, just balance out.
Yeah.
In life, it's all about balancing out everything. So it's okay to have one of those, I have a sugar craving, so I need to eat this. That's okay. Just balance out everything.
All right.
So you're not like a crazy, you're not doing anything religiously, you're just mixing out.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's our keyword for this video. Balance.
Balance is key.
All right.
Yes.
And then
the favorite, we already spoke about the chicken and
Yes,
eggs.
yes.
These are also good. They're very high protein, obviously, because when you have, these are low biological proteins.
Yes.
So you mix them with rice, that's what makes them a complete protein, but these are complete on their own. So you just have them with the ugali, you have them with the, literally it's just exciting. It's all about servings and moderation.
okay. So question, servings. So fist sized ugali.
Fist
How much veggies?
This should be half your plate, the vegetables. And you need to have 5 portions of that half a plate per day. You just froze.
Yes, because now I'm thinking there's no space for my meat.
Yes.
On the plate.
So here it is. This is your fist size, right?
Yes.
This is half the plate.
Okay.
Now the other half is the meat.
Okay.
And the camandades, right?
Okay.
This is 1 serving spoon. If you have that like small serving spoon, it's 1 serving spoon. But also depends on what your weight goal is. If you're working with a caregiver who is maintaining their weight, just 1 serving is enough.
Okay.
A caregiver who has not been eating and is sidelining on the point of anorexia, then you need to increase even your carbohydrates, because if you're doing so much work and you're eating less, it means your energy is not balanced.
Yes.
So you need to also increase your protein intake. That is 2 serving spoons for that caregiver.
Okay.
And then even the meats, you need to have 2 pieces or 3 pieces depending on what the weight goal is nutritionally for that caregiver.
Yes.
But obviously less at night, more during the day. Breakfast like a king, queen, pauper.
Yes.
Then the meats, obviously choose more lean meats because they have less fat, good
Yes.
for the heart. So you just choose more of lean meats.
All right.
Yes.
Okay. And then you have things in the glasses. That
We
you
have
can
things
send to.
here.
Is that,
Yes, this is
wine? A little wine.
No, this is not wine. This is juice, beetroot and ginger juice,
Okay.
which is very, very good for the blood, really good inflammation.
Yes.
For the juice is very nice. But you have it 20 minutes after you've eaten your
20
food.
minutes rule.
20 minutes.
That goes for water as well?
Either before or after.
Okay.
Water also, so to give your food time to settle in.
Okay. All right.
Then this is mango and tree tomato.
All right.
Just a little bit of
It
it.
sounds healthy.
Yes,
Yes.
very healthy, very nice. And if a caregiver, depending also on the caregiver, because you also need to see moderation. 1 mango, maybe a tiny tree tomato, that's enough for you. 20 minutes, then you wait before you go to bed.
Okay.
So you're not sleeping hyper.
All right.
You're sleeping when already your system has
Yes.
calmed down.
I'm also thinking about the caregiver who's taking care of a person who cannot sleep well through the night. So they may not have that solid 3 hours to time before they sleep, right? And my immediate thought as a solution is then have smaller portions. Is that a solution?
And you're right, that's actually a solution. That's why most meal plans are supposed to actually be divided to 5 portions. So you're not sitting down at once to eat everything. You're eating a little bit of the feast of the ugali, then again later on you're going to have something else. So it's not one grand big meal. Yeah.
Like we normally do sometimes.
Yes.
Big meal,
Yes.
then comes the food coma,
Yes.
and then when your
And then
sleep
you're
is
too
interrupted,
full.
yes,
Yeah.
and when your sleep is interrupted, even just getting up from the food coma, it's a slow gradient.
It's a very slow gradient, and I always tell people about the Japanese culture. They have a word called hara hachibu. Eat only until you're 80% full at any given point. And if you check them, they have a life expectancy of almost, I think, 80 years. They live for very long. So as a caregiver, you need hara hachibu.
Hachibu.
Yes.
Hara
Hachibu.
hachibu.
Yes.
80%. How do you know you hit the
80%.
80%?
So you just eat. You don't eat. You know how the African culture, you eat until you're full.
Boom.
Yes. You eat that fist size of garlic, you'll be just a bit full. You won't be too full because you only eat to nourish the body.
Yes.
There's a saying, I don't know if you can help me, live to eat or eat to live.
That one.
Yeah.
You eat to live, or do you
live to eat?
Yes.
You're supposed to eat to live.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not the other way
Not the
around.
other way around.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think the 80% mark would be when you start realizing the food doesn't have salt.
Yes. That's actually when you realize the problems, just stop eating.
Yes.
Do something else first. Yeah.
Till you're hungry enough again to appreciate the food.
Yes.
All right then. Three videos in, we've talked about what is nutrition, why it's important to you as a caregiver. We've talked about breakfast, and now we've talked about lunch and supper. Supper or dinner, smaller portion than lunch, right? And you said little of everything, because too much of a good thing becomes a bad thing.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Too much of a good thing becomes a bad thing. In the next video, we are going to talk about quick hacks. We are going to talk about myths. We are going to talk about fun facts. See you in the next one.